between vectors and signals. Okay. So class section B, please listen to one again. I think you have so many doubts. Last class you are saying that you are not understanding these things. Let me explain once again. And section B, this is the new thing, and I already give the overview of this vectorial signals, the analogy. So why this topic is required? Okay. There are in the coming chapter you learn about Fourier series or Fourier transform. Okay. On this, to learn or to know about these signals, you have to know some orthogonal signals, okay, or orthogonal functions, okay, because these are something transformation kind of things, or you can say a signal, a different way representation. Like they say that xt can be represented as a naught plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity a n cos theta plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn sin theta, okay, or you will learn that something xt can be represented as summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity cn e to the power minus j e to the power j n omega naught t. Okay, these are the new derivation, okay, new expression to represent xt. Okay, those are different form. You can see here exponential term has come, here cos theta sin theta has come. So what happened? The analysis, this Fourier series or Fourier, the analysis says we can represent any signal in terms of some orthogonal function. Okay, here in this case, this cos theta or sin theta are orthogonals. This e to the power j n omega naught t, for all n values, these are orthogonal signals. That's why we have to know the orthogonals. Okay, to know the orthogonals, we can take the concept from the vector. The vector, we know that orthogonal vectors are those vectors which are perpendicular. Okay, the two vectors are orthogonal if b1 and b2 are orthogonal when their dot product they are perpendicular, b1 or b2 perpendicular, or you can say they are the dot product of these vector are 0. So these concepts from the orthogonal concepts we learn from the vector, then those orthogonal concepts will apply in the signal. That's why we have to take this topic very seriously, because we should know very well that what is called this orthogonality of, okay. Many times they are asked in the question that write the orthogonality of the signal or write the orthogonality of the vectors. Okay, you should know what is orthogonal. Orthogonal for the vector is nothing but the perpendicular vectors. Okay, like that we can say the orthogonal signal also. Okay, let me derive the whole things and let me explain the whole things. Then I will give the orthogonality definition also. Okay, for both vectors and signals. Okay, to know these things, let me say two concepts. That I have said that if something force or some vector is making some angle with another vector, okay, then if they are making some theta degree, if this is b1 and this is b2, then some component of b1 along b2 is represents b1 cos theta. Okay, and this is at perpendicular, the component will be b1 sin theta. We are not deals anything with the this perpendicular component. We just means give the analogy or give the concept with this vector which is along the b2 vector. Okay, the component of b1 is along the b2. That's our requirement. Okay, I think these things you know. Do you have any doubt on this topic? That we can assign this b1 in two components. One is b1 sin theta, another is b1 cos theta. I think this thing you should know. Have you got this concept from your high secondary? Have you remembered that? Well, let me give a simple idea where you get in class 12 these concepts. Let me give. Okay, this is a block, okay, and somebody pulling by a rope here. This is the force. Force also one type of vector. Suppose this is a force vector F1. Okay, so if somebody pulling this block, and if it is mass is m, then it has a component perpendicular lower to the gravitation component, you can say mg, okay. And if something pulling with this F1 force, then it has two components. One is the if it's makes theta angle, then one component will be how much? F1 cos theta. Another component will be at up, that was F1 sin theta. Okay. Here a normal force will be there, and here one frictional force will be there. Okay. So I think these thing to solve this rigid body problem in class 12, you know this component, okay? This F1 cos theta and F2 cos theta. Like that, this if I take this B1 as F1, so it has two components. One is B1 cos theta, other is B1 sin theta, and we just have to know about this the component of B1, which is along the vector, another vector B2. Okay, this thing you should know. And another thing is that if the vector, if the vector B1, the angle between the B1 and B2 is not given, okay, and we have to represent, or we have to means find the component of B1 along B2, then we will take some perpendicular from the B1, okay, to the B2, and it is this point is given B1 to B2, okay, and this is another vector, and which is called the component of B1 along B2, okay. Understood? This is this C1 to B2 is nothing but a component of B1 along B2, okay. And if there is no theta, no inclination, the value of C1 C12 will be maximum, okay. And when C12 value will be minimum when both the vectors are perpendicular, because I am saying that B2, if B1 is parallel to B2, then here C1 to B2 is maximum. When it's move little up with same magnitude, then the C1 to come here, okay. Then again, if it goes, then again C1 to B2 will be here, and it's gradually decrease as you increase the vector. And if perpendicular, then C1 1 2 will be 0, okay. This is the concept from the vector, okay. So I think this is clear. This is the two-way representation to find the component of B1 along B2. This is the two-way. One is when theta is given, the vector of B1 component of vector B1 along B2 is B1 cos theta, and another is the component of B1 along B2 is C1 to B2. Okay. Okay. Let me give the whole notes sequentially. Like you should first write like. Let me give some concept from vector. Okay. We know that a vector, you write the notes. The vector, I think section B already written. Then also you just see the whole procedure to revise your concept. The vector has both magnitude and direction. Okay, and I have said that the component of any vector, can be interpreted along the another vector. Okay, this I am saying that the vector can be interpreted along the other vector like B1 cos theta. Okay, so let two vector B1 and B2. Okay, and you can write geometrically the vector the component of vector B1 along B2 is obtained by drawing a perpendicular from the end of vector v1, okay, onto vector v2 s1 below, okay. So what happened? The component of v1, I am at the second case I have said that the component of v1 can be interpreted along the v2 or can be drawn along the v2 by taking a perpendicular from the top of the or end of the v1 vector, okay. And in this case, this v1, this is, you can write a b, okay, a error vector, okay, and this is this is the minimum error vector. Have you taken the note? Can I go or proceed for the next?
Yes, sir.
So the dragon would be, I already said, like the S1 below I have said. So you write this figure now. So what I am saying, now you can write that so the component of vector v1 along v2 is how much? c1 to v2, okay. The component, I am saying the component, okay. The component of vector v1 along v2 is c12, and this is give one number. You can write here or where. Here c12 is chosen such that error vector is minimum, okay. Why I am saying this thing? Because if you take this will be error vector will be maximum c1 to v2. If you take a little here, then also error vector will be maximum, okay. But error vector perpendicular to the v2, which is a minimum error vector. This error vector will be the minimum. Okay, that's why I am saying that the c12 is chosen such that the error vector is minimum, okay. So from this case, let me say something like the representation of now represent the component. This equation 1 represent the component, okay. But let me give the representation also and approximation also, okay. Well, using two more equation, the vector v1 can be represented in terms of v2 as how the v1 equal to c1 to v2 plus ve, okay. This is come from the addition of the vector, okay. This is the 2, and if you want to, this is the error vector we have summed up. If you remove the error vector, then we have to say that approximation term, okay. We may if I want to say that approximation, then the error will I cancel, okay. The vector v1 can be approximated in terms of v2 as v1. This approximation sign should be given, okay. This is c1 to v2, and we remove this be error vector, okay. This is give 3 equation, okay. This thing is coming from the summation of vector property, okay. Do you know how the vector is summed up? If one vector is going like this, another vector is going like this, then resultant vector will be this one. Okay, this thing you should know. If one vector is going like this, another vector is going like this, the summation of these two vectors will be like this, the middle one. Okay, if b1 b2, then this is b1 plus b2. If this is b1, this is b2, then this is b1 plus b2. Here also this is b1, another is b2. That's why this is the resultant vector c1 to b2. Here b2 will be there. Okay. So this is the this second equation comes from the addition of the vector. Okay, come these two equation I have given for your concept only, but we should this topic is deal with this equation 1, that we have to find a component along a component of one vector along the another vector. This is okay. Then come to the next topic or next thing. That's if vector v1 making an angle theta with vector v2, then we can say the component of v1 along v2 is given by how much? v1 cos theta. Okay, this you write as fourth equation. Then from 1 and 2, okay, then 1 and 2 we can say that you can here you can see this the component along the component of vector v1 along v2 is c12. Okay, from 1 and 2 we can say c1 to v2 equal to v1 cos theta. Okay, now you take this here, this v1 cos theta by v2. Okay, another thing we know that v1 dot v2 dot product of formula is given by v1 v2 cos theta, and if you take v2 from there to here, means if I write cos theta like this, then this will be v1 dot v2 by v2. Okay, so now if we put this v1 cos theta from this to here, then our value will be c12 will be v1 dot v2 by v2 whole square. Okay, this thing. So what is c12? This is the coefficient. Okay, or you can say the values which are we have to multiply with v2 to represent the component of v1. Okay, the magnitude of c12 is an integration. You can write is an indication of the similarity between two vectors. Okay, so you can write this is 5 number equation. So this is the ultimate equation. Okay, which we are main intention to find. Okay, so then is it we have taken the note? Okay, then this is the dot. Okay, v1 dot v2 by v2 whole square. So if two vectors are node, take note, if suppose if vector v1 and v2 perpendicular. Okay, if both the both the vector perpendicular, then b1 dot b2 will be 0. Okay. If here, okay, b1 dot b2 will be 0. If b1 dot b2 equal to 0 means c12 equal to 0. Okay. So c12 equal to 0 means vector b1 has no, because they are perpendicular. So we can say that the vector b1 has no component along b2, okay, along other vector or along vector b2. So this is the another concept that the two we can represent a component of vector b1 along b2 if the theta less than 90 degree. Okay. So if both the signals are both the vector are 90 degree, we cannot find any component from vector b1 along b2. This is the another concept. So you can write what is called orthogonal vector. Like the vector, the vectors which are 90 degree, making 90 degree or perpendicular, those are orthogonal vector. These orthogonal concepts are very important. Orthogonal means there should be an anti-degree. Okay. The vectors which are usually perpendicular to each other are called orthogonal vector. Are called orthogonal vectors. Okay. Have you taken the note? Please, these are all from the vector concept, and we are learn that two vectors are orthogonal when both the vectors making angle 90 degree. Okay, and coefficients are, and we are trying to find a coefficient which represents the component of a vector. Okay, in terms of coefficient, that b1 can be given as c12 into b2. Okay. So come in case of signal. Now this orthogonality concepts taken into the signal. Let us consider two signal. F1 1t and F2t. Okay, here only two signal has taken, not more than that. Two signal F1t and F2t. The signal F1t can be approximate. Okay, can be approximate in terms of F2 over a certain interval t1, t2. Okay. So how if approximate word is there, means we can approximate F1 signal. We have to give this symbol, let a coefficient C1 to F2t. Okay. So what will be the error then? there is some error, and that error can be found by subtracting f1 t minus c1 to f2. Okay, what would be the error function? Error function is given by fet equal to f1t and c1 to f2t. Okay, so our aim will be what? To find the c12. Okay, as we find in the signal vectors. Here for signal also our aim will be to find the c12. Another thing you should know, this c12 is indication is the point where the error vector is minimum. This point you should know. The c12 values are taken in such that the error vector will be minimum. So for that we'll take the mean square value. Okay, and from that we are trying to find the c12. Okay, so everybody please take the note. So next what we'll find the error where let me find the error of the signal that can be given by the mean square error. Okay, mean square error, find the error of a signal, and we'll find the error from the error vector. Okay, error function means error signal. So let us consider mean square error MSE, or is represented by epsilon. Okay, is given by or given epsilon equal to 1 by t1 minus t2 integration t1 t2 fe square t dt. Okay, this mean this is something we divide with our duration t1 minus t2, or you can write t2 minus t1. Okay, t2 minus t1 give the duration on which this signal is exist. If you divide this is called a mean. Okay, and if we are squaring the signal, that's why it is mean square error. Okay, so just you put this fe equation here from the two t2 minus t1 to t2. This is, you can write f1t minus c1 to f2t whole square dt. Okay, so I'm saying that the c12 is a point where the error vector will be minimum, or error signal is minimum. So you can write here to find the value of c12 which minimize epsilon is given by, or is given, or it should satisfy the following condition, is given by how? Dou epsilon by dou c12 equal to 0. Okay, and the differentiation you should know that any function if given, okay, we can find the minimum and maximum values. Okay, minimum and maximum values with the help of derivation. Okay, derivation of the signal. If it is xt function or signal, then we can find the maximum value or minimum value using the derivation d by dt xt. So that's why to find the minimum value where error will be minimum, we find dou epsilon by dou c12 in terms of c12 equal to 0. Okay, please take the note. Is it clear? You can ask question, sir, I am not understanding these things. So orthogonality, our focus will be know about the orthogonality first, then the coefficient first. If you want to, you can say a coefficient, okay? Orthogonality means there should be a 90-degree between two vectors, okay? Or we can, you can say we cannot represent a signal in terms of other signal, okay? If both the signals are perpendicular. Have you taken the note? Then, so we have to differentiate now this epsilon equation, okay? So please join once again. The Zoom is going to